Okay, g'day guys. So today we are talking about the rope face pull. Fantastic exercise when it comes to potentially developing your rear delts. Also just ironing out potentially a few instabilities you may have with your shoulder blades. Really fantastic isolator for the middle part of your back, so the likes of the rhomboids and the traps, and all over just a fantastic exercise. Now, most people, when they do this exercise though, what they go and do, they do it standing up. Now, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with this. However, I have a few issues with that. Is that number one, first things first, is you come back and you get yourself into a decent weight. Already you're looking to shorten that range of motion by arching the back, which is fine, okay, because you need to get into thoracic extension anyway, and you do that the other way that I'm going to show you. But by standing back here, you create a pivot point, and you may end up swinging. And that's the part that I want to remove from this exercise, because it shouldn't be you shouldn't be swinging during this exercise. We do not want momentum in this exercise whatsoever. So we want to create as much stability throughout this exercise as possible. Now, the way we can do that is by doing something very simple, and that is sitting down. So when we sit down, what that does is it makes our hips more stable. It allows us to use the rack itself as a leverage point so that we're not swinging. So if we start getting to a heavy load, we're not sort of having to rake it back up like that, okay? We can use the desired muscles in order to move the load that we're after. So let's go into it. How I want you to set up here is you can place your feet just about wherever you like, wherever's comfortable, but we want to be in this position. Now you can see that obviously we're not pulling to our face, so we need to pull our shoulder blades back and down. Now what we know about pulling our shoulder blades back and down is that we're going to create stability in order to do that. So by me simply looking up at where this is coming from, we are going to create better stability, get into a thoracic extension position, which is going to promote the use of our rear delts, our rhomboids and our traps. And we are going to be able to use this as a solid foundation in order to pull from, and therefore be able to really dive deep into those muscles without having to think about having to really contract and control our midsection so we don't go flying forward with the weight. Okay, so I'm a big advocate for taking a seat and pulling down, or even laying down while you do this. And if you want to look at the laying down way to do this variation of this exercise, by all means shoot across that video and have a look at that one. Okay, so how do we set up? Well, obviously we want to come down with the weight, okay? Set our feet up nice and well, and we're going to have our hands or set your feet where it's comfortable, okay? And we're going to have our hands probably the reverse way that you would normally hold a rope when it comes to, say, a push down. So our thumbs are going to be holding near the ends of the rope. Now you can see in this position I'm not very stable, my back's very round, and it's just not ideal. So we are going to look to pull back and down, hold this position, and these knobs here are going to come towards my temple. That is what I'm aiming for. So again, shoulder blades back and down, pull to your temple. Now, with your hands, what I want you to do and think about is you're going to create tension through your rear delts by keeping your hands pulled apart. Don't allow them to cave in. What you're going to do is just move along the line in which the cable runs, but don't allow these ropes to come back in and touch. So the tension is going to be created with the hands pulling apart. Hold that position and keep that tension on, and you will feel your rear delts come alive. Now, what we also need to understand is that while we're in this position, our lats want to come into the game, because what we know about these big major movers, or these big muscles, is that they want into the game. They're designed to move load, they're designed to protect us, they're designed to do the work, okay? These minor muscles are there to stabilize us, to make sure that these big ones can do their work at the most efficient point, as efficiently as possible, by being really symmetrical and stable. Symmetrical is probably not the right word. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter about that. Point is that the lats won't in the game. So the starting point with this exercise is actually start a lot lighter, get into position, pull through get into position, pull through these minor muscles a lot more, so create volume through these minor muscles. When we do this, you're going to create a pathway from your brain to your muscles, okay? People refer to this as, mind in the muscle, or mind-muscle connection, or all these terminologies, but the point of the matter is that we want to be stimulating the right muscles, we want tension through the right muscles, and in order to do that, especially with these little ones, because remember, these little ones just want to stabilize, they don't really want to do the work, I suggest going lighter, getting the load through, getting that connection on, okay? Making sure that these lats are stabilized and out of the game by pulling them back and down, holding your position, and then once you've got yourself in that position and everything's firing, that's when you want to go and start loading up those muscles. One thing we need to understand with this exercise, and just like any back exercise, is that the rope obviously wants to pull you from this position here, so shoulder blades back and down, and it wants to pull you out of this position. Now, people will be talking about, oh, you need to reach whenever you do a row, or you need to reach whenever you do, say, a cable face pull in order to gain, full range of motion, all this type of stuff. That is true. However, there is a skill set involved with that we need to be aware of, and that skill set is the ability to keep tension on the working muscle whilst in the reaching position. So what I'm talking about here is that if we just go lax and allow it to pull ourselves out, then we open ourselves up for injury. What we need to be able to do is pull our shoulder blades back and down, reach forward, but keep that tension on in this position, then pull forward. Now, if you're not feeling that muscle the entire way through, okay, say you lose it from about here to there, or whatever your full range is, then what I would suggest for you for now is just to go to the point in which you're about to lose it and then pull again, okay? Now, I'm not saying go half reps, so, for example, the bicep curl. I'm not saying go to here and then back up, okay? I still want you to go all the way down, but if you're all the way down is, say, there instead of being there, for now, develop that skill, develop that tension and control over the muscle before then going ahead and going all the way down. Because if we go all the way down and this switches off, it puts us a great deal of or puts us at risk of injury, okay? So for example, the bicep, if I come all the way down and go lax, all that load in my hand is now transferring into these ligaments that have to latch on and hold. It's not their desired feature. That's what the desired feature of the muscle is to contract and control and prevent injury. So with this particular exercise, if we're reaching forward, okay, and you're letting go and you're letting it off, okay, don't reach as far forward, or obviously the most obvious answer would be to lighten the load so that you're not in that position. So again, set this up, hands grabbing a hold of the ends pretty much in a reverse fashion as we normally do with any rope exercise. We're gonna fall in, okay, pull our shoulder blades back and down, lock in nice and tight, generate the tension through my hands, pull it apart, pull through towards my temple, and keep this range like so. Little squeeze, little pause at the closest part to your eyes, or the full when you feel the full contraction, that one came in, okay? And just keep working these ranges and watch your rear delts come alive and grow, okay? You'll get some really good results out of this. So that there, team, is how you want to do your face pulls from now on.